Good evening, everybody. It doesn't look like it's evening right now because we're recording in the middle of the day. But I greet you in the name of Christ here at our meditation garden at Christ the King Lutheran Church. I have found throughout this entire pandemic that places like this that have nature, quote unquote, or a garden, or when I walk around the racetrack, when I'm able to be in the presence of trees and of a water font that we have over there, I always feel more energized. I feel as if the cares of the world are slowly melting away as I interact with this other life force, this green and verdant earth that we are a part of. And I have discovered that in my walks that I have invited silence into my life. I've invited this disposition where the stress and the anxiety and the uncertainty of life are for but a moment cast aside, so that I can allow for internal peace to come in, the peace of God. You may wonder, how can anyone have silence and peace while cars are passing by, or while your neighbor brings out a Yorkie and the Yorkie starts barking at you? Not speaking from experience, but it's happened before to other people. How can silence really permeate our lives and bring us peace? That's a valid question. And to be honest, I can only tell you from what's worked in my own life. When I meditate on one stanza, or even a couple of words from one of the Psalms, and I do so while I'm walking at the racetrack, or I'm sitting here in this garden, or I'm walking around the neighborhood where I'm currently living. I have found that these words center me. They center me on the meaning and of the supplications of yesteryears. And that brings me stillness in my soul. It stills all these other voices that I'm hearing and focuses me on just this meditative phrase. This past Sunday we read from Psalm 65. I'm going to read a verse that I've been using these past couple of days. And I invite you now to reflect on this verse as we listen to Rick. And be purposeful in how each of these words settle in the deepest part of who you are. Place your 2 feet on the ground, and just as you hear these melodious tunes from that Rick's playing, allow yourself to listen to these words. You still the roaring of the seas, the roaring of their waves, and the clamor of the peoples. Welcome back. How was that? Where did you feel the stillness? Where did you feel God stilling your soul? Was it the deepest, the soles of your feet? Did you feel the tension from your shoulders being released? If not, which happens very often, I'll admit that, it's okay. Part of this practice of inviting silence, of allowing for the words of the Psalter to bring you into silence, takes time. Especially in this time that we're in, it can be so easy for us to just flip on the phone, to be distracted, to see an outrageous kind of new development occur, or some more harbingers of bad news on your Facebook feed or your Twitter feed. We can be easily sidetracked by that, and so it's a practice that takes time, that takes stillness, takes silence. In a word, it's allowing for God to use these words. You still the roaring of the seas, the roaring of their waves, and the clamor of their peoples. It's allowing for God to use those words to give you peace, to center you, and to center your identity as a beloved child of God. That doesn't mean that we neglect or we forget about the problems of the day. No, but this is a time for us to heal, and a time for us to rest. To know that we have a God who, as the psalm says later on, who visits the earth and waters it abundantly. You make it very plenteous. That's the abundant life that God is offering for you, that I present to you today, sisters and brothers in Christ. That perhaps you could invite silence as a practice in your life, in whatever way possible. You can sit in a garden, you can walk around rice, you can chase the neighbor's dog, or you can chase your own dog. Maybe that would help you invite silence in your life. Whatever devotional practice you find that brings silence and peace to you, I invite you to abide in that and to bring into that practice the words of the Psalms. And so I leave you with this encouragement. I encourage you to take some time for yourself to read the words of this psalm, to allow for silence and peace to disturb just but a moment of your life. Just a moment. We all know how busy the city is. We all know how difficult this pandemic era is. But there is a great gift in knowing that we have a God who stills our souls and stills the clamor that's all around us. Peace be with you.